Hello, Israel. It's me again, Red Planet, coming to you with another video. I hope you had a good Sabbath. I hope your Sabbath was well. I want to give shout out to the YouTube family. I hope that your day was good. We're going to give all praises to the Most High. All praises due to the Most High of Israel. Let's get into this video, Israel.
Things on the atomic level that have the ability to be everywhere at once. They are difficult to measure using standard methods, so quantum terminology and units of measure are used. ORM, ORME, is the acronym for Orbitally Rearranged Monoatomic Elements. Coined by Arizona farmer, businessman David Radius Hudson in 1995. Now this all started in the 70s when Hudson, after chemically preparing and watering the fields of his farm, noticed that a peculiar dark substance had formed on top of the soil. Here's an experienced and quite wealthy farmer. He didn't know what it was. It was unlike anything he had ever come across before. So, to make a long story short, Hudson took the substance in for testing. And after some advanced spectroscopy analysis in Germany, it was concluded that this substance was a mass of monoatomic minerals. It was another form of matter that we have yet to fully understand. An ORM is an element that has superconductive properties. In other words, they are elements that are attached to this extra dimension. They can pull in energy from it because they provide that link or wire. One of the first things Hudson discovered about this stuff is that when it was heated in the sunlight, it would disappear in a flash of light. But the stuff was not gone. It had only shifted from our three-dimensional plane into, let's call it, the fourth-dimensional plane. Hudson later realized that he could bring the stuff back into our third dimension by cooling the area where the stuff was placed. Now, when you have a microscale, the weight or mass of the measurement tray is factored into the balance of the scale, so the numbers read 0 when nothing is on it. When Hudson placed the stuff on the tray, the numbers on the scale would fluctuate, taking the numbers down into the negative. Now, how could it give a negative reading unless the stuff was actually levitating the tray? So what is this stuff? Well, an ORM or ORMUS is a different class of material than your normal three-dimensional minerals. Heat and sunlight can cause them to vanish into thin air. Cooling them causes them to reappear and retain their original state. And right now you're thinking to yourself, they actually sell this stuff? Yes. I mean, people have known about this stuff for thousands of years, folks. Unfortunately, that's how long it takes for that information to get to us. Now, a small percentage of your body is naturally composed of ORMUS elements. They are in the air, the water, the food, virtually everything. But as humans, depending on where we live, our consumption and lifestyles, it is easy to become very deficient in these nutrients. ORMUS elements include cobalt, copper, platinum, palladium, iridium, rhodium, mercury, nickel, osmium, ruthenium, silver, and gold. You see, right now, everyone, we are much weaker than we all should be. Everybody's got something. Everybody seems to be broken in some way. Many of these diseases, chronic pain, slow healing injuries, there really should be no such thing. But we are being deprived of nutrients. We are being stripped of nutrients we have available to us. You see, when you plant crops, the vegetation soaks up minerals. And so the next time you grow vegetation in the same soil, they soak up less minerals, and so on and so forth. You deplete the soil of its ORMUS content, and the soil must be allowed to replenish that ORMUS by allowing the sun to beam down on the soil for several years. Pretty amazing, right? Now, what is a monoatomic mineral? We are most familiar with elements that come in a matrix of the same atoms, giving you something that would be considered the pure metallic mineral. But a monoatomic element is an atom that is stable all by itself, which gives the atom a lot more freedom to move and change. Let's take gold, for example. Not as rare as one might think, it is very abundant, but they just want you to think it is not. It is estimated that throughout our existence, less than 20% of the Earth's entire gold supply has been unearthed. Anyway, gold is a pretty remarkable mineral. It is very malleable. You can take 1 ounce of gold and stretch it out into a thin wire 50 miles long. Or it can be hammered out to a thin layer that covers around 300 square feet of space. Gold has numerous various electronic applications as a conductor, and it is a mineral that could be considered a byproduct of the sun. The ancient Egyptians, Persians, Sumerians, Babylonians, Greeks, they all knew about the value of gold. It is commonly known that ancient royalty surrounded themselves. They covered their bodies in gold. They believed gold retained certain properties that would attract prosperity, riches, wisdom, power. Interestingly enough, human skin does have a certain acidity that could cause small trace amounts of gold from jewelry to leach into the body, giving the wearer benefits. I mean, simply wearing a bracelet made from copper has been known to have tremendous health benefits. Gold is edible to a certain degree. It is biologically inert, which means it will pass through the digestive tract without any issues. It is not a toxic metal like mercury. Speaking of which, there are Native American tribes who also believe consuming gold can enable a person to levitate. Many of you are familiar with alcoholic beverages and certain food products that contain or are decorated with 24-karat gold leaf flakes. I would say that the benefits on the body consuming this stuff are debatable in that form. Your body will only absorb trace amounts of the gold and the rest is wasted. A more bioavailable form of this is colloidal gold. Now, colloidal silver is a bit more popular due to its antiviral and antibacterial properties. However, colloidal gold is a trace mineral that is attributed to such health benefits as the reduction of swelling and inflammation. It can relieve arthritis, tendinitis, bursitis, rheumatism. Colloidal gold is also known to have a balancing effect on the body. It can neutralize negative emotions, such as depression, anxiety, frustration, and anger. It can improve cognitive function. It will improve the electroconductivity of the body, improving gland function, regulating hormonal imbalances, and it improves the function of sexual organs. There are a few other benefits with using colloidal gold. However, it is gold that is still in its metallic state. So you can over-mineralize the body with this stuff, which could down the line lead to some health issues if you don't allow your body to process the stuff through. Which brings us to a better option, monatomic gold. Now this comes in really two forms, monatomic gold and Ethereum gold. These are pretty much the same thing. However, monatomic gold would be considered the manufactured patented grade, stuff you have to make. Ethereum gold would be considered the naturally occurring form of monatomic gold. Ethereum gold would come from deposits of ancient seabeds. The monatomic gold found there was formed as a result of a meteor impact. Now, your common monatomic gold can be manufactured from volcanic or seawater deposits. It can also be manufactured from pure metallic gold. The alchemical process, however, is quite complex. Not many people know how to do this correctly, so it is difficult to determine who is selling the real stuff. But when you are able to get your hands on and use the real stuff, some amazing things can occur. Synchronization of the left and right hemispheres of the brain, of course. It supercharges the neurotransmitters, stimulating the glands, increasing HGH production, thus giving you more stamina, more energy, better deep sleep. It can increase the rate of healing, relieve chronic pain. Your skin clears up. It also gives it more color by stimulating melanin production. Your nails grow healthier, and hair that has grayed begins to retain its natural color. You know, in extreme cases, things have been known to grow back, such as teeth. You may have heard of the experiment with the cat that lost its tail. There was nothing left but a nub. This cat was so attracted to eating this hand cream made from Ormus minerals. After ingesting the hand cream for several weeks, the cat's tail had grown back completely, as if it had never lost it. This stuff has been known to increase concentration and memory, awareness. It can enhance the effects of meditation and lucid dreaming. It can act as a superconductor, increasing your quantum connections, enhancing psychic abilities. Food for the pineal gland, a substance some believe was produced in the Great Pyramid. Are you seeing the connections, folks? This stuff will even repair and support the DNA. It will clean it up, therefore affecting your physiology. Now, I put this presentation together not only to let you know what Ormus and monatomic minerals are, as well as the effects on the human body, but to inform you all of something that has become a very common practice nowadays when it comes to these products that are intended to help people. And that is the debunking of alternative medicine. And when it comes to monatomic or Ormus minerals, these jokers don't play around. I mean, Google is a great source for pointing to websites that may have the information you're looking for, but it is a horrible search tool for finding the truth. As many of you may already know, Google, Wikipedia, Rational Wiki, these are absolutely terrible places to look for answers if you want to get to the bottom of things. In researching this, you will find publications just ripping David Hudson and others like him apart, and anyone who believes in his work. They will present the claims of Ormus and monatomic minerals as complete theoretical quackery. Let me tell you something. The pharmaceutical industry, the supplement industry, they do not care about your health at all. In fact, they could not care any less. You being healthy is not profitable, and they will spare no expense to keep you unhealthy. They will even go as far as to propagate companies that sell the fake stuff. Some poor soul gets excited about the benefits of Ormus and monatomic minerals, purchases some crap from one of these companies. The stuff doesn't work, it's a wrap. And now that person is convinced that the stuff won't work no matter where they get it from. This is what these companies do. Do you think they want you to buy real monatomic gold? No. It's not a conspiracy theory, folks. That's business. They do give these smaller private companies that sell the real stuff a real hard time. I tell you, if you want the boys in blue and yellow to come knocking on your door, try creating and selling something that helps people. No, folks, they don't want you to know about this stuff. They don't. They, meaning those who are in competition with it, and those who want to benefit from it before you do. Now, I have not yet found the best source for the best price as of yet. It takes a bit of research and knowing who people are to find a trusted source. I always try different sources because I don't want my nutrients all coming from one part of the world. I believe taking in this stuff from different sources will vary the effects. And eventually you will find a few companies that you feel comfortable with. Ormus can also be made at home. There are a few ways to do it, but the more common method is the tin can method. This is where you take a tin container, place it on top of a fairly strong magnet, pour mineralized water into it, and the natural Ormus in the water will try to move away from the magnet. After a couple of hours, the Ormus will collect at the top center of the volume of water. It can then be extracted using a glass eyedropper, and you're good to go. The only thing about Ormus is you don't really know what elements you're getting. It's usually a combination of all the Ormus minerals. Monatomic gold can also have several other Ormus minerals in it, even if they just call it monatomic gold, or Ethereum gold. You can, of course, get the elements like monatomic copper and monatomic palladium and the others in that more isolated form, and each element has its own unique benefits. I would use Ormus minerals taken from sea salt from several places around the world and use that regularly. Realistically, not every single day, but I would use it more often than Ethereum gold or concentrated monatomic mineral. I would save those for cleansing, repairing, and healing due to their potency. Now, I should point out, listen carefully, if these minerals do what is claimed, meaning this stuff can enhance your connection to this extra dimension, you may want to consider that you may also be enhancing your sensitivity and awareness of the possible extra-dimensional beings that reside in that realm. This stuff may even make the communication link with those beings stronger. It's like going from a 2.4 gigahertz cordless phone to a 4G cell phone. So if for some strange, odd reason you happen to experience something of the sort, just be careful who you're communicating with, if you believe in that sort of thing. If you don't worry then. Just think of it as a hallucination. There's really nothing to be concerned about, folks. People are raving about the benefits of this stuff. People debunking this or saying that it's harmful, they don't know what they're talking about. It's white powder gold, not cocaine. It's not heroin. It's not a pharmaceutical drug. So you know what I say? Do some personal research, get yourself an Ormus product or two, and enjoy.